So let me ask you this. So did you see Shaq? Shaq out there slipping into the girls' DMs? Come on,
That's
Roy. Roy Wood Jr. Come on.
I feel like Shaquille O'Neal has done more than enough goodwill in his
No, I think
life
it's
where we can give him the benefit of the doubt that he was not trying to hit that. I didn't read the DMs. What did he say in the DM? Hang on, let me pull up
it
the.
was it was not really like, hey girl, let me run me that number. But he was being flirty,
Keep your
which was
head up.
fine.
You look
Yeah.
good, but
Yeah, you look up, oh, I wonder all your boyfriends don't, something like that, right?
oh no, he was trying to
But
get that.
yeah, probably. And that's okay. He's a grown man. She grown. I think she grown. She was over
It's
18.
not
I'm pretty
okay.
sure.
He's a
It's not
millionaire.
okay.
Why are you in somebody's DM? Send a representative.
What's
I didn't see
oh,
the
so is that what you do,
trashiest.
Roy?
I
Roy.
listen.
What's the
I'm not gonna name names, but
okay.
in my radio days, and we used to host
Oh,
parties for these R&B singers that used to come through Birmingham. They had a they had a H wrangler. I ain't gonna say the word. They had a
okay.
wrangler,
Okay.
and the
Hmm.
wrangler's job was to go down to the dance floor and say, "Hey, so and so wants you to join him in VIP." And you either yay or nay. You know what the business is at that point. If so and so wants you in VIP, you know he's trying to take you home. So either you with it or you ain't. So I don't know. I just don't know if Shaq need to. Certain people like, why are you even checking your DMs?
I thought it was actually heartwarming. And then he just did a whole video. He just
In
did
a
a
Home
whole
Depot, yeah.
in a Home Depot.
Now
It
that I
was
saw,
brilliant.
but Shaq
Beautiful.
does that all the time, and it's
Yeah.
never like I'm not gonna like people's joking. Oh, he in Home Depot looking for the girl. No, Shaq is well documented in these streets of just pulling up to random retail stores and just paying out people's. He shows up to layaways
Well, he
and
did
just
that. He did. He
he's done
paid
that
for
for
people's
years.
washing and dryers, but he also, at the end of the video, said, "I'm looking for where the girl at. I can't find her." Well, she actually quit
That's
because
funny.
people were harassing her at the Home Depot. I don't know. People just don't
Oh
got nothing else better to do.
man, y'all so creepy.
Yes, they are. 866, not us though. 866-801-8255. Roy Wood Jr. is here. I just got a text from Tyler Merritt. He said, Roy wrote a blurb for my book. Which one? I Take My Coffee Black. Did you read that? Did you actually
Yes, I
read it, or did
did.
you just
Tyler,
write the blurb out on some friendship stuff? Did
I'd
you
have
actually
known
read the
Tyler
book?
since before the George Floyd. Okay, this ain't
Okay.
no Johnny come late list and stuff. There's one more thing though. With all right, then you tell me if I was a creep then in college.
Okay. Yes, you were.
You let me finish the story. I had a crush on a pizza delivery girl, so I only ate pizza from that pizza place for 3 years, even though the pizza was terrible. Never flirted, never I tipped 20%. But just man, that's the one with the cute girl. I sure hope the cute girl. Ah, dang, it's an ugly white dude. And every now and then it'd be the cute girl.
Okay. Did y'all ever connect?
No, no, no. I was petrified. I don't approach women. I'm scared.
So have you
Like
always been like, even now?
maybe less so now, but like back then, petrified.
So
I'd rather do comedy.
how did
I'd
you
do
ever have a
just
child? Like you had to
look,
approach somebody. So everybody's
Jesus. I,
approached you?
I
Is
had
this
my kid at 37. I'm talking about when I was
okay?
19. These are
Okay.
two totally different sets of consequences.
Oh, that's
I
true.
got furniture now. I can step to a woman.
Okay. All right. All right.
That's my
So
opening line. You know I got a couch, right? Because some of these women, they be with dudes with no couch.
yeah, because you know what? I
Because he
always
got
say
potential. My potential is
that is true.
fulfilled.
Somebody online was saying that, or and I'm not going to repeat all of this, but I think that women are less superficial than men, except for now. I feel like there's like this last 10 years, women are catching up with the superficiality of men, which is so weird to me.
I don't I don't know if it's superficiality as much as it is I need to weed out riffraff. Like I've gone through checklist first dates before. Like this year, like even like I'm
What
on
does that look
cable.
like?
So, what are your goals? What is the situation like between you and your child's mother? Um, are you in therapy? That's one that's coming up before the
Are you
appetizers
serious?
get to therapy. Sometimes with a black woman of status that has achieved stuff and don't want to be serving as your psychologist, yes. I'm not here to solve your problems. I'm here to empire build with you. So, yes, are you talking to someone about your stuff? And if you ain't, I'm not gonna fool with you. Most people in therapy are very leery of people that ain't on the dating tip.
Is this a fact?
I believe I am. You
Okay,
need to
eight
at
six
least
six. Oh, hold on. Let me put the number out.
now
First of
you
all,
want to talk
those of
about
you with
something, we can talk
lists,
about that.
those of you with lists, if you got a list for what you believe your paramour should be when you're on a date, do you have a list like
Yeah, do
Michelle
you
Obama had a
present
list?
it? They
Right.
present like they hit me, pop, 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 pop,
Oh,
pop, pop,
and you could
pop.
tell they going down the list of the list.
Yeah,
Okay.
I ain't
What
tripping.
and therapy is when did therapy become part of the dating questions? 866-801-8255. That seems to me, and I like it. I like it. I think, especially for a man to be in touch enough to go sit and talk with somebody. And are you in therapy?
Yeah,
Roy,
it's
Roy
like a
Jr.?
self-care thing. Yes, I am. I've been in therapy like
Okay.
2 years. So it's
Okay.
like do you have a self-care routine at minimum? Like that's more the thing. Like, what have you learned? Because once you get into what are you learning in therapy, now you get into some HIPAA. But if you
Right.
know at least it's somebody I'm talking to about something, then you're more confident to sit down and deal with me. And I will say the women that I've talked to in the last year, like it's not a lot of arguing. Like you talk through stuff and you can still come to the conclusion that y'all don't need to keep interacting, but it ain't no yelling and throwing stuff and well, none of that. But I know dudes get mad about the checklist, but do you have money? What is your debt situation? Like they ain't asking for the credit score, but what are your goals? Do you know what you want in life? And I'm like, I'm 44. If I ain't figured it out by now,
Well, at your point, and I feel like, going from the Golden Corral to Roy Wood Jr. selling out and probably, hosting his own show in multiple places, participating in Comedy Central, killing it at the correspondence dinner and just
trying.
being amazing, right? It's a different role now. Are you meeting women that don't know who you are? Probably
I don't want
not,
to say
right?
they don't know who I am, but they're not by it. Like, ain't no start. Like, I'm dating black women. Black women don't be all. They just be like, what channel is that you on to get like they act like they don't know, but like they ain't gonna say like right up that I like it. Like they'll say, why'd you wear that tie with that shirt last night? They're not gonna say, I
Right,
saw you and it was
right.
funny. They just gonna go, that was a nice sweater you had on Sherry Shepherd. It's like you knew I was on
Uh,
TV.
All right, let me
Now
ask
I
you
don't
this.
I don't have a checklist like that though.
I was going to ask you, you don't have a checklist at all.
I have a checklist, but I ain't hitting it with you on the first date. Most things men ascertain just through observation and conversation. I already know the answers to most of the questions off the rip. I need to know who your enemies are, why you hate them. That informs me.
What?
I'm serious. Who do you hate in life? Because that informs to
It's
me
a
your
great
conflict
question.
resolution skills.
Mm.
And off of that, I know how you handle problems. Because if you get somebody talking about people that made them mad, then you can tell whether or not they'll admit fault in the situation. And if you're telling me 3, 4 stories of everybody did you wrong and you was never the person that got done wrong, mm,
Oh, I
mm,
like that. That's
something
actually
off about
pretty.
that.
Did
I'm gonna
did
order.
your therapist you
I ain't sharing no cheesecake with that one. You gotta get your own cheesecake.
Wow, I that is actually a brilliant question that I'm going to incorporate. Did your therapist lead you to that? Because that,
A little bit, yeah. A little
yeah,
bit, yeah. A little
look,
bit of
look, 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 look
observation,
at you
yeah.
taking those skills into the
Well,
real
you
world.
know
All
what it
right.
was? Because at the time we was in couples counseling. Then I discovered in couples counseling you can't go to couples therapy until you go to youth therapy. So I was like, hey, just put this couples stuff, put this on hold. Let me go over here and unpack this stuff, and I get back to y'all.
What was your biggest thing that you had to fix or wrestle with yourself?
Accepting that I deserve good things and not putting everybody before me. And I think that's
Oh,
probably the even something still I struggle with to a degree, but understanding that your happiness doesn't have to always come second. And that's I don't want to say that's the problem with chivalry because there is a line of being cordial and courteous and putting your woman first, as they say, right? But then there's another line where if you're not careful, you'll put everybody first. And
mm,
then you just become this agreeable pushover. And then Also, I mean, how deep you want to get today? Like, we can start talking about being
We,
anxious, avoidant, and not wanting to take on conflict. So then the counter to that was just me taking on everything immediately without that way I ain't got to spend 2 weeks dreading something. So,
wow.
yeah, it's really fascinating, and it forces you to slow down and think before you move. So, I'm not saying I wouldn't date nobody that ain't going to therapy, but like, people with active beefs, that's the other thing. That's my other red flag.
you you don't want none of
You
that over
have
you, because that's gonna come your way at some point, right?
yo, you would be surprised in Black Hollywood how many people don't F with other people you love. And then you find out that about that, but I like both of y'all. So now if we in a relationship, you telling me I can't even go
Talk
over
to
there?
Babyface.
Yeah.
What you mean I can't talk to Babyface? Wait a minute.
We
Oh,
don't talk to Kenneth in this home. His
right.
crazies, the Kenneth crazies will come for me. So yeah, like I've never dated a celebrity or like any woman with like a acting, you know what I mean? Like just like on
Could,
some Megan Good and
right.
Kang the Conqueror type situation. Like I've never had that. But if you do, rest assured, it's a bunch of people that don't like her, and there's a bunch of people she don't like. And if you be with them, then you inherit that whole beef and all of that.
That's
I don't.
crazy.
I'm
And at
not a
the
fan.
same time, I understand because,
I ain't saying I'm gonna
yeah,
write somebody off for
no,
that, but like if you don't like your uncle and you and your cousin still might get to shooting next Thursday, I.
right. You don't want no parts of that. I get it. I get it. If I'm not rocking with somebody, it's a good reason because I pretty much can rock with just about anybody. So they have had to done something to me. So if somebody's done something to me, and me and you are in a
Yeah.
relationship, yeah, you
But
can't be
see, that's
messing with
where
them.
therapy puts me in going recognizing, oh, I'm anxious avoidant. So let me not even be in situations that put me in a situation to be in a place where I want to avoid conflict.
What?
Your
Okay.
uncle, you want to
Right.
fight your uncle. Sooner or later, we're gonna have a kid, and your uncle gonna have to babysit the kid. And then that's gonna be
What?
another argument. And then it's
Right.
gonna be another argument. And then it's gonna be an
So you
argument
just
about
looking
whose
all the way
birthday
down.
party.
Right.
Yeah. And I
So I can't
just
do this.
yeah. It was like the girl who husband was getting out of prison in 3 years. And I was like, mm,
That's 3 years from now.
mm.
You could have a good 3 years of fun and
Yeah.
then deal with it then.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he
All
be
right.
sending me letters. How you don't know who he connected to on the
That
outside?
is true. That is true. That is true. You got to be,
Everything
that's
about the
interesting.
relationship was perfect. Everything was great. But yeah.
Wow. Wow.